Has Task Force X allowed a Viper into their nest? Well, let's hop into the pages of Suicide Squad issue number 4 and find out together, shall we? Alrighty then, so this issue is still part of the big Teen Titans Academy Suicide Squad crossover that we've been dealing with for a couple months now. If you watched my video on the last Titans book, you'll know I was not a fan of how it's shaken out. And unfortunately, a lot of the stupidity that underpinned the Titans book is rearing its ugly head here and now in this Suicide Squad book. You'll remember that Red X, the brand new mystery villain slash anti-hero slash I don't even know, had led Task Force X into Titans Academy only to quickly turn on them right afterwards. A massive fight broke out and the squad ended up taking Red X with them when they returned to Bel Rev. Waller is apparently not mad that they failed to capture Bolt, the person that the squad was sent out to kidnap in the first place, and now she wants to turn Red X and get him to join their team for basically no reason. Well, okay, she says that Red X is a Batman-level tactician and would be a great addition, but then later goes on to say they don't know anything about Red X, despite the fact that Nightwing admitted to the other Titans that he was Red X formerly. Which again very much makes me think that the writer of this and the Titans book just were not talking to each other because so much just does not add up in between issues. Also, despite it being Waller's main modus operandi, she decides to not actually put a bomb inside Red X's neck, instead makes a big deal about trying to get his mask off for some reason. I guess somewhere along the line she came down with a bad case of dumb, happens to the best of us. If nothing else, Peacemaker seems to agree with me that everything Waller is doing is not only stupid, but greatly jeopardizes their mission. This is why Peacemaker goes out of his way to try and recruit the other members of Task Force X in a coup he's about to lead. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the chance to because, surprise, surprise, Red X only chose to get himself captured so he could get closer to Waller. The whole I'm not stuck in here with you, you're stuck in here with me thing that we've seen a million times to the point that it really is starting to get annoying. Red X ends up activating an EMP device which not only shuts down most of the power for Task Force X, but also opens up the cells, letting a bunch of other rampaging supervillains free. This of course leads to another spirited moral debate between Superboy and the rest of his supervillain team. Connor naturally wants to go and save as many innocent lives as possible, while Peacemaker wants to go and fight it out with Red X. In the end, both get their way. And even though Waller admitted she didn't know anything about Red X, apparently Red X knows everything about the Suicide Squad and is able to strike at their most vulnerable spots, both literally and figuratively. Because wouldn't you know it, he's just that cool and just that tough and just that amazing and just that special. And oh, aren't you interested to see who's under the mask, and don't you want to read more Titans Academy to find out? No, not really. For Connor, Red X goes on about how he knows he's not supposed to be here and that Waller did something to him and is manipulating him, but hey, we gotta wait for the annual for the answers to those questions. One actually undeniably kind of cool thing that does come about this issue is that during Red X's fight with William Cobb the Talon, he actually lets slide that Cobb is faking this whole being crazy thing, which he is. Again, I have no idea how Red X knew that or if we're ever going to get an answer as to why, but there it is. Red X's final hurdle before getting an actual audience with the real Waller is Peacemaker. Red X takes this opportunity to once again embarrass yet another member of the main cast, but also talk about his own philosophy, man. He wants to set people free, all people's free. No, he doesn't explain how he's been doing that or how he hopes to do that. In fact, as he goes into Waller's office, he's already well aware that this place is rigged with explosives and that he was never going to actually get a meeting anyway and instead only uses one of the bombs to further escape. And so as the comic ends, the Suicide Squad licks their wounds after being thoroughly embarrassed by an outsider, but moreover than that, one villain was able to escape the prison riot, and that villain was Bloodsport. Hey, he's going to be in the new movie, isn't he? And so that was Suicide Squad issue number 4, everybody. If you couldn't tell, I was greatly disappointed by this issue. This crossover between this series and Teen Titans Academy wasn't good for either book. I suppose the Suicide Squad ends up looking a little better than the Titans, but everyone involved comes out looking much stupider and much more incompetent than they were before. It's just so baffling to me that so early on in this new team's run, they think it's a good idea to have an outsider from another book come on in and thoroughly beat the crap out of everyone. I'm reminded of particularly bad wrestling writing wherein we have to get over the new character of Red X and we don't care who we have to bury or what storylines we have to harm to do so. The only silver lining is that this Suicide Squad book will probably never have to deal with the Red X problem ever again, so at least there's a chance to recover here. Overall, I would give this one a 5.5 out of 10, and that's pretty generous. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Jewel, and if you're seeing me right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, which I am very appreciative of. It really helps drive engagement and retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. So does liking and commenting. Wink wink. If you like my content too, you should check out my Patreon page. We just redid all the tiers, so there's a ton of great rewards. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and well, it would just really help me out. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So until next time, everyone, I've been Cape Joel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.